Dude, why should somebody leave their home and travel to Miami for a conference?
Well, I could say that I was at one of your events and I took about 7 pages of notes and made a lot of great connections. And I honestly mean that. When I speak at these things, I usually don't stay for the whole thing. I got 4 young kids I want to get back to. But I really honestly took a lot of notes. And I think this is going to be an amazing networking opportunity. You know, I wish I had the opportunity to go to these kind of events when I was younger, because I had to make so many mistakes along the way until I figured it out. And it took me years, you know. It wasn't like I didn't wake up and it took me years and failures and egg on my face, and a kid that had no airplanes and started out as a kiddie pool attendant could make this happen. And I slept on 18 couches between the ages of 19 and 22 before I finally kind of found where the right path was for me. And I had a private jet company called Marquis Jet. We did $5 billion in sales. We sold it to Warren Buffett's company. And the only way that we could get into the game was to get access to airplanes. So we had to cut a deal. Basically, we had to convince a guy named Rich Santulli, who was the CEO of NetJets, and Warren Buffett, who owned NetJets, that 2 29-year-old kids could, with just an idea, were worthy of, using their fleet to build our company. And they gave us a shot, I think never thinking that it would work the way it worked. And like I said, we ended up doing $5 billion in sales and building this amazing company. And, Grant, honestly, the best thing about Marquis Jet wasn't the success of the business, although that was amazing and life-changing for me, but it introduced me to the 4,000 of the who's who of pop culture, business, influence, and I got to intimately talk to these people, meet them, build my own personal network at a young age. And that was the best gift of all. Listen, we started a private jet company with no aviation experience and no airplanes. And we built it to the world's largest private jet card company. We had the most customers of any company probably ever. And it was just my own personal drive. I don't think you can do it without that.
Yeah.
If you and whatever you have to do to pull that drive or that reserve tank out of you, you have to rely on it. I had a million techniques that I relied on. If I got bullied as a kid, that would come into my head. If there was a teacher that said I sucked, that would come into my head. If my parents told me that would come into my head. If I wanted to get the girl, that would come into my head. Everything got channeled to get to the finish line.